power tools use many ball bearings to allow various components to rotate. Over time, a ball bearing will wear and begin to fail. A bearing that is failing will usually give warning, often with a squeaking or a squealing sound. Replacing a ball bearing is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Mark Socha.
Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers,
Outdoor grills.
our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone.
Let's get started.
I'll begin by separating the motor assembly from the base. To separate the two halves, I'll remove the adjustment handle. Now I can pull the motor assembly away from the base. Now I'll remove the motor brushes. Next I'll remove the side handles. I'll also remove the side cover, as it'll be necessary to have it removed when I reinstall the handle later. Now I'll separate the lower half of the motor and the armature from the upper half. As I separate the two halves, I need to make sure that I remove the wiring harness that goes to the LED light. Now I'll remove the collet and the lock ring. Now I need to remove the retaining ring. To do that, I'll clamp the armature into my vise. I'll wrap a rag around the armature so I don't damage it. Apply just enough tension so the armature doesn't rotate within the vise. Then I'll use a pair of adjustable pliers to remove the retaining ring. Now I'll remove the armature from the bearing. To do that, I'll use a rubber mallet. You need to make sure you use a rubber mallet here, as using a regular hammer will damage the spindle. Now I can remove the bearing. I'll use a bearing separator to do that. I place the separator over the bearing and tighten it up. Then I place the separator over the jaws on my vise, and I'll use a socket and hammer to remove it. I have a socket that's just slightly smaller than the inner race on the bearing. I'll place the socket on the armature shaft and tap the armature out. Now I can install the new bearing. I'll place the bearing onto the armature shaft, and this time use a socket that has a diameter the same as the inner race. And I'll tap it into place. Now I can reinstall the armature into the base. Again, I'll use a rubber mallet to tap the base down onto the armature shaft. And I'll reinstall the retaining ring. Now I'll replace the locking ring and secure it with the screws. I'll replace the collet as well. Now I'm ready to reinstall the lower half of the motor to the upper. I want to make sure I install the baffle, and then I'll slide the armature through the field. I'll need to pause to reconnect the harness for the LED light. With the harness reconnected, I can slide the two halves together. I want to make sure I don't pinch those wires, and then I can secure it with the screws. Now I'll reinstall the switch side handle. I'll line the handle with the housing and secure it with the screw. Now I'll reinstall the trigger and the lock button. And replace the side cover. And now I'll replace the wiring cover. Now I can replace the other side handle. And now I can replace the brushes. And I'll finish up by reinstalling the motor assembly to the base. And that's how you can replace the bearing in your power tool. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up.
And leave a comment.